Okay, so when we are talking about grounding, it starts not only it starts from your childhood, but it starts even before that. When any couple conceives a child, it's like grounding, or you can also call it as the consciousness of parents is something besides the consciousness of a child, or even you attract that kind of a soul as a child in your life. So if I say the grounding of child starts right from the grounding of parents, so you should always start preparing yourself emotionally, mentally, not only physically, for a child, like a year before you are actually planning to have a child. How is your emotional health as a person, as a mother, to become a father? How is your mental health? Of course, you have to take care of your physical health as well to become parents. How much work you have done to resolve your own emotional trauma from childhood or in your present life. Once both the parents have done that kind of a work before even actually planning a child, you end up attracting a soul who is grounded or conscious. It is called as wherever the parents' consciousness meets, you attract a soul with the same consciousness, with the same karmic debt, and then the collective journey of a parents and child starts. So that's the first place where actual grounding starts. Then of course the 9 months of pregnancy, the emotional and the mental health of the mother, consciousness of the mother, which is collectively we call consciousness of your womb, that how healthy emotionally your womb is, not only physically but also emotionally and mentally. The emotional quotient of your womb will decide the emotional grounding, heart health, connection of a child once the child is out from mother's womb. The moment child is out from mother's womb, the physical environment around the child, parents or grandparents, sibling, collectively, their emotional health, their emotional grounding, their heart grounding will have first impact on child to develop his or her own EQ, which we call as emotional quotient. Children are very good energy amplifier. So I always keep advising any parent who comes to me that children is going to amplify what you are. So the best way to ground them is to become the best version of your own self first, because they are not going to pick up your words more, they are going to pick up your action, they are going to observe you as a child, they are going to develop their emotional health, they are going to develop their physical health, their feminine, their masculine energy, the balance and the harmony of your own body by just looking and observing the parents. So even if you can't become the best version of anyone else's expectation about you, but if you keep working on your own self to become the best version which you feel is good for you, will give the best grounding and the base to your kids, because they are going to observe it and they are going to amplify, your best version, or whatever version you will give them about yourself. After that, of course, it's child's destiny, where it will take the child in future. He will have impact and influences from friends, nowadays technology, people from other part of the world. They are going to get influence from everywhere. What is the best thing in your hand, or what is the controllable as a parent you can do, is give them best version of yourself. Another thing which helps or impacts the grounding of a child or grounding of you as a child is how much curious your mind is. You have to allow the kids to ask question, allow them to ask question not out of suspicion but out of curiosity. When you allow them to ask question and then you reply or respond to those questions, that makes the intelligence or the intellectual part of them, it becomes active and it stays active. And that is what actually is a good virtue which you can give to your kids. if their intelligence is active, when they know how to question the facts and the situation in front of them, that will help them in the future, because their future is not controllable. We can't decide that whether our child will go in the war zone, or he or she will become a doctor or become a engineer or anything, or a farmer or a freedom fighter or a soldier. We don't know. So you can't give them decisions, but you can always prepare them to take decisions. So you can keep their intelligence active, and that is the best virtue, or the you can say the, the best gift you can give as a parent to your child is prepare them for their own future rather than preparing their future. Most of the parents right now going a little wrong in this front, that they like to decide on behalf of kids. That doesn't help a kid to grow. That doesn't help kids to have those problem solving skills, analytical logical brain. You have to allow them to make decisions. You have to allow them to ask questions. You have to allow them to ask, help them activate their critical logical emotional intelligence. As a parent, if you develop and work hard on these aspects of your kids, it is the best asset you can give them as a children. These are the basic milestone, or you can say foundation, which helps your kids once they grow above the age of 15, 18, where their actual and active and independent decision making time comes for their career, for their health, for their relationship, or any other aspects of their life. If their EQ and IQ is developed with the strong fundamentals, without any biased upbringing, without any prejudiced upbringing, without any judgmental upbringing, where you're not giving them the judgments of this is the only way you can do this is the wrong way of doing it, let us do it on your behalf, we have never done this. These are the judgmental and biased upbringing that creates limitation for the kids. It is not creating the foundation for having more choices and possibilities in their future life. We are just creating a lot of limitations rather. A lot of parent comes, have the upbringing of their kid with the idea that whatever we couldn't do, let our kids do it on our behalf. And when those kind of kids becomes adults, they will have the mindset whatever our parents couldn't give us, let us give to our kids. So this is a vicious cycle which keeps pass on from generation to generation, where we are not making the next generation have the sense of responsibility of achieving your own ideas, own happiness, own ambition. We are forcing the counter responsibility of keeping the previous and the next generation happy. That entirely creates the sense of burden. Process is not joyful, and it end up manifesting in some kind of illness in the health, or in the work, in the money, in the relationship, anywhere it will get manifested. What are the basic fundamental things as a parent we can do to give the grounded upbringing to the kids is being unbiased and unjudgmental upbringing. Don't have that department in their head of right and wrong, good and bad. That compartment doesn't help them to grow. Allow their strength to get highlighted and becomes their actual strength. Help them work on their weaknesses in an unbiased way. Work on their decision making metrics. Give them the sense of support rather than doing it on their behalf. So I keep, this is my very genuine and a very common advice which I keep telling in my sessions also, or while counseling, that allow them to fall when they are young, so that they don't fall from the heights when they enter their actual decision making age. Let them create and develop their independent thought process rather than forcing our prejudiced and deeply wounded thought patterns on them. As a parent, you are concerned about your child is very genuine feeling, but making that concern and converting that concern in control is something which doesn't help a child. So you have to, as a parent, what you can do, convert that concern in the consciousness of a child. Help them become conscious and aware of how to solve a problem, how to have a broad ended angle to look at the life. Giving a loving, joyful, unbiased atmosphere at house where you are teaching them open communication, non-judgmental communication, where you are teaching them there is always a solution to a problem. After every fight, there are the ways to resolve them. Every fight doesn't have a full stop. Okay, how you can resolve them. These are the virtues you should give to your kids, which gives a good emotional grounding, where they know that every setback is not the end. There is always a solution after it, which is more joyful. And after solution, you rise to the next level in whatever problem you are solving.